Alright, guys, let's start doing um, passage 1 here. Today we're looking at the Kakapo. The Kakapo is a nocturnal, flightless parrot that is critically endangered and one of New Zealand's unique treasures. So the word nocturnal here means it's like an animal that, let's say, that an animal that kind of forges or I would say walks during night. Like it's like they're active only in night. So flightless parrots, that is critically endangered and one of the New Zealand's unique treasures. So we understand that the passage is going to be about a bird, a flightless bird. So now it's time for the questions. You look at the questions and you understand that true, false, not given questions, they follow the order. All right. So there are other parrots. There are other parrots that share the kakapo's inability to fly. Adult kakapo produce chicks every year. Adult male kakapo bring food back to nesting females. Adult kakapo bring back food back to nesting females. The Polynesian rat was a greater threat to the kakapo than Polynesian settlers. Kakapo was transferred from Rikura Islands to other locations because they were at risk from feral cats. One recovery plan initiative helped increase the kakapo population size was caring for struggling young birds. Whenever you see these kinds of words, like for example, one recovery plan, as you can see, the word starts with these tiny little words. The first letter of each of them means that it's a technical noun. So if you just search for it, one recovery plan. Oh, there we go. Recovery plan. There we go. You found it. Now here the notes completion follows the order as well. So okay. So I see some if I'm recording. All right. So we have one word only. The first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna basically read. I most probably believe that these questions will not necessarily come from the rest of the part because the last question of the true false not given is finishing over here, which means that only two of these paragraphs won't necessarily answer all of these questions. First, I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna find Richard Henry. So I saw Richard Henry just somewhere around. It was somewhere. I found it. I found it somewhere. Where was it? Richard Henry. I saw him somewhere. Recovery plan. Recovery plan was also there. Where was Richard? Oh, there we go. Richard Henry. There we go. So that means if I found question 11 is probably over here. That means the other ones is going to be on top. So diet consists of fern froth, various parts of tree, and something. All right, fern froth, various parts of tree, and something else. All right. Now, the kakapo, also known as the owl parrot, is a large forest-dwelling bird with a pale owl-like face, up to 64 centimeters in length. It has predominantly yellow-green feathers. Forward-facing, a large gray beak, large blue feet, and relatively short wings and tail. It is world's only flightless parrot. As you can see, world's only flightless parrot. So this leaves us with question number 1. Okay. If it's only, that means the answer is going to be false. So other parrots, no, not other parrots. They don't share the other parrots. So the only. So the words only. Worlds only. That's why. Take that as well as red. Now, next. And is possibly one of the world's longest living birds with a reported lifespan of up to 100 years. Kakapo are solitary birds. Whoops, why did I do that? Kakapo are solitary birds. Solitary birds means they live alone and tend to occupy the same home range for many years. They forage on the ground and climb high into trees. The forage on the ground means they hunt in the ground and climb into the trees. They often leap from trees and fly their wings, but at best manage to control descent to the ground. They are entirely vegetarian. Okay, they are entirely vegetarian. Their diet including leaves, roots, and barks of trees, as well as bulbs and fern froths. just because we have the fern frogs. We have fern frogs over here, so we have fern frogs over here. We have that, and various parts of the tree. We also have it. So there you go. We have fern frogs. So we have leaves, roots, and bark of trees, and as well as is a separation over here. So the answer is going to be bulbs. So we're going to take that and name it as bulbs. All right. So this is going to be our. Just going to highlight that and give this question number 2. Now put it, bam, there we go. Now Kakapo breed in summer and autumn, but only in years when food is plentiful. Okay, males play no part in incubation or chick rearing. Females alone incubate eggs and feed the chicks. The 1 to 4 eggs are laid in soil, which is repeatedly turned over before during incubation. The female kakapo has to spend. Okay, now kakapo breed in summer and in autumn, but only in years when food is plentiful. Every year, no. When the food is plentiful, that time they breed. Not every year. So the keyword is every year. But logically, if you think summer and autumn, they are repeated. But in the year when there is no food, but still the seasons are summer and autumn, and there's no plenty of food, they don't breed. So this leaves us with false. Question number 3. All right, so there you go. Just take that part as well, highlight it. Nice, very good. Now next one, not every year. Let's say only in years when food is plentiful. All right, now just gotta make sure that this is black. All right, next, adult male kakapo bring food back to nesting females. Okay, the female kakapo has to spend long periods away from the nest searching for food, which leaves the unattended eggs and chicks particularly vulnerable to predators. All right, so we have this part, the female something searching for food. There you go, and give us question number 4. Question number 4 over here. So they spend long periods searching for food. It's not the males, but it's females. It's another false. Very interesting passage, honestly. Nests are created in something where eggs are laid. They are created in soil. So, as you can see, there's a part was laid in soil. So, laid in soil. So take that. And question number 8. Question number 8. Laid in soil. Now, moreover, so what do we have? Polynesian settlers. We have Polynesian settlers. We also have European colonizers. We have protecting Kakapo. Polynesian. We have Polynesian settlers, and then we have European colonizers. We have European colonization. All right. Moreover, okay, nice. Before humans arrived, Kakapo were common throughout New Zealand's forest. However, this all changed with the arrival of the first Polynesian settlers about 700 years ago. For the early settlers, the flightless Kakapo was easy prey. Was an easy prey. They ate its meat and used its feather to make soft cloaks. Okay. The something of the kakapo were used to make clothes. So it's feathers to make soft cloaks. Okay, cloaks. So we have feathers over here. Feathers. So that means feathers. This is question 9. Question 9. We have feathers. Moreover, with the same Polynesian dog and rat, which also preyed on kakapo, by the time European colonizers arrived in the 1800s, kakapo had become confined to the central North Island and forested parts of the South Island. The fall in kakapo numbers was accelerated by European colonization. A great deal of habitat was lost through forest clearance, and introduced species such as deer depleted the remaining forest of food. Other predators such as cats, stoats, and 2 more species of rat were also introduced. The kakapo were in serious trouble. But however, saying that if Polynesian rat was a great threat to kakapo, then Polynesian settlers is not there. We are not comparing, so the answer is going to be not given. There's no comparison if greater, we don't have the word greater, and then we don't have the word than. All right. Moreover, arrivals of European colonizers, something were an animal which they introduced that ate Kakapo food sources. Okay, we have this part. We have the deer. Deer depleted the remaining sources of food. Depleted. Question 9. 10. This is question 10. Deer depleted. So it's like the deer. Ate the Kakapo's food means depleted the what is that, remaining force of food. So there you go, that's the one. All right. Moreover, Richard Henry, conservationist, definite sightings of female Kakapo Richard was reported in. Okay, what else do we have? Kakapo was transferred from Victoria Island to other locations. They were at risk from feral cats. In 1984, the New Zealand government launched its first attempt to save the Kakapo. Conservation of Richard Henry led an effort to relocate several hundred of the birds to predator-free resolution islands. Several hundreds of the birds to predator-free resolutions. Rickrell Island, from Rickrell Island. We don't have Rickrell Island just yet. Only a few clung to life in the most isolated parts of the New Zealand. So, female Kakapo. We have that part. We have to find that part. Okay. The island remained free, stoats. Okay, we have where's female Kakapo. We need to find female Kakapo. Predation. No, we have no females. We have Rikura. Rakiura, we have that. 200 individuals, 98 was confirmed females will also present. Okay. So 200 individuals and 1980. Question number 11. Question 11. Confirmed females were also present. Definite sightings of female Kakapo, yes. 1980. Alright, now. A recovery plan included an increase in. Unfortunately, predation by feral cats in Rakiura Island led to rapid decline in Kakapo dumpers. As a result, during 1980 to 1997, the surviving population was evacuated to 3 different sanctuaries. We have answers here that to other locations, yes, to 3 different what? Where was that? I just lost it for a moment. To 3 island sanctuaries. The 3 island sanctuaries. That's the one. So the answer is going to be true. Alright, so just gonna have to highlight that part for you guys. Whoops, I did that. I didn't mean to do that. Question, is that, what was that? Question 5? Yes, question number 5. Over there. to 3 different sanctuaries means to different parts. Alright, moreover, included in risk, increase in what? Codfish, Maud Island, however, breeding success was hard to achieve. Here, recovery plan initiative helped increase population size was caring for struggling young birds. I have a recovery plan over here. It was launched together with a specialist advisor group called the Kakapo Scientific and Technical Advisor Committee and a higher amount of funding. Here we have included an increase in funding. And increase means and a. Included means and a. And a. So it's like a and a. So that's the one. So that's it's a very tiny purpose, like a grammatical games. Cambridge, IELTS examiners love to test us. So we have that part. Question 12. Highlight that. There you go. Now, current goal of the card is to maintain the involvement of something in Kakapo protection. Okay. Cats were eradicated from someone else. We have current goal. Current goals means today. Current goal means today. This is the part. This is the paraphrase. Kakapo management continues to be guided by the Kakapo recovery plan. Its key goals are minimize the loss of genetic diversity in the Kakapo population, restore or maintain sufficient habitat to accommodate the expected increase in the Kakapo population, and ensure stakeholders continue to be fully engaged. Maintained involvement. Maintained involvement means continue to be fully engaged. Fully engaged. Preservation preservation means in Kakapo protection. Kakapo protection. So there you go. The answer is going to be stakeholders. Stakeholders. We have who? We have stakeholders continue to be fully engaged. I'm just going to take that part. And stakeholders. Question 13. There you go. Question 13. Now, 1980. Did I highlight that? I just did that as well. Yes, funding. Funding is going to be the answer. I didn't fire the question number 6 just yet. However, the population did not start. I see the word chicks, hand raising any failing chicks. This involved the birds between moving the birds between islands, supplementary feeding of adults, and rescuing, and fundraising any failing chicks. One part of the recovery plan. So the answer is going to be true. So the recovery plan was big, and one of it was to do move the birds between islands. That's number one. Supplementary feeding of adults and rescuing, and hand raising any failing chicks. That's the one. Question number 6. There you go. So that's it, everyone. We have finished Cambridge test 1, passage 1 of test of Cambridge 20. So yeah, if you have any questions, make sure to comment down below, and I will come up with a very prompt response. There you go. If you need to pause, take your time. I don't know, what is that? Take your time looking through the questions and how I did it. If you want, I can provide the paraphrase table, but I don't really think that you need it right now because I've provided everything for you in front of you. So there, thank you very much for watching, and make sure to comment into it, so like it and subscribe if you haven't.